yelling at us, and he showed it by example too. You know, Cam played very hard the whole entire second half. You know, you can go out there and replay. I mean, Cam was just all over the place, battling. Same thing for Lindy. You know, that's what seniors do, and so they just led by example, and they also led by communication. So when those two guys are doing that, you know, you just got to follow their lead, and that's what led us to come back late.
Okay, we'll go on the right
Brian
side.
Brinkley, KFOR TV, Oklahoma City. Isaac, you seemed very aggressive in attacking the basket. Was that a mindset going into the game, or did you just see opportunities there and take advantage of them?
My teammates just try to tell me just stay aggressive. You know, whenever I'm playing very passive, that's when we're not really just at our best, because I cause a lot of confusion. And, you know, whenever I'm playing passive, whenever I'm attacking the rim, that's when things open up for everyone else. You know, Dezaga, one of our shooters, Lindy, Cam, you know, when I'm getting to the lane, the teams actually have to worry about me finishing at the rim. But whenever I'm going to the rim and playing very passive, you know, that's just me pretty much defending myself. So, you know, I just got to stay aggressive, and that'll get other people more involved the more aggressive I am.
Okay, again on the front row, right side.
Yeah, Cam, Isaac just mentioned you didn't come out with a lot of energy to start the second half. Have you thought much yet about just energy in general tomorrow? It's going to be such a strange game, a high-stakes game in an empty gym that seats 18,000 people. How, I assume opposing fans help you generate energy. How are you guys going to get your energy tomorrow?
You know, just within ourselves. We're a team that definitely, you know, we start within and then we go out, you know, so the 14 guys definitely have to bring the energy amongst each other. And then, I mean, the little amount of fans we will have will feel their energy too, but it just starts within that huddle or within that timeout. Every single time we go out there, we know that we got each other's back.
Okay, as you can see, we are now joined by head coach Mike Boynton Jr., so we'll open him up to the fray. If you have questions for Coach or any of the student athletes, be happy to take any question you have. Coach here on the left.
Coach, you know, looking at the last play, the Isaac's layup, how does that show just the poise that he's had in this game and for you guys all season?
You know, he's a pretty mature sophomore. He started every game for us as a freshman and really learned is still learning how to play the position. But I think really it goes to the growth of our team as a whole. We still have some good pieces, and when we're playing together and executing at a high level, we feel like we can play with anybody. He leads us because he affects the game in so many different ways, but that play in particular was made by Avery Anderson. We told him in a timeout going into that last possession. We didn't have any timeouts, so I didn't want them thinking timeout if they score. We wanted to get the ball out as fast as we could. And so we usually have one of our bigs take it out. But I said, whoever gets it, just go out of bounds and inbound it. Because a lot of times the other team's really excited, and you can catch them kind of off balance in that situation. And so whoever got the inbound pass, and we obviously wanted to get it to Ice, just drive it as far as you can. Don't settle, all right? Got basically a second, one dribble per second late game, and we had enough time there to get all the way to the rim, and he did a great job of reading the scenario. And obviously was able to complete the play. So, yes, it shows poise from him in particular, but I think our team was obviously prepared for the moment. That credit goes to those kids.
Okay, let's go in the back here on the right.
Coach, congratulations on the win. I got to ask you about the other big story that's happening around. Can you take us through when you found out about the fact that there won't be any fans at the rest of this tournament, and kind of how you told the team and what effect that could maybe have about playing the Jayhawks in an almost empty gym tomorrow?
I just found out after the game. I heard a lot of booing during the game, but you know, when I hear noise, I don't really understand what's being done in the crowd. So I just found out. I just told our team, hey, we have to control what we can control. The most important thing for us is to get rested and to be able to get ourselves prepared to play a really, really good team. Doesn't matter how many people are in the stands. They got the Player of the Year, a Hall of Fame coach. And probably if their Player of the Year wasn't Player of the Year, their point guard would have been Player of the Year. So we got a big task ahead of us, no matter how many people are actually in the stands tomorrow.
Coach, now when you just following up on that, though, you know, you say that, but you know, you and actually, well, none of us have ever been in a situation like this before. what type of changes or anything, even though you just found out about it, do you think that you'll have to make any type of adjustment that you have to make? Because obviously, as has been said before, you feed off the crowd noise, either pro or against. Tomorrow, you're not going to have that type of atmosphere for either team, of course. Sure. But how do you kind of coach and keep your players, adjusted to something like that? I mean,
I think the first part of your statement maybe kind of tells it all. It's uncharted. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to give you I'm not prepared, right, for this, because you don't expect to not have anyone even in the building, especially in a conference tournament where fans from all teams are able to come. And this is one of the most well-attended conference tournaments in the country because of where it's located, and all the fans are able to drive from the different parts of our region. Yeah, it'll be different. I'm not sure exactly how it'll play out. What I only can really focus on is trying to get these guys rested and put a game plan together, because really the crowd noise helps the environment of the game. But the 5 guys on each side of the court really kind of settle in, and the game ultimately becomes the same regardless. But I don't really know. I don't have a great answer for you in terms of how do I make an adjustment. We'll kind of all be playing it by ear tomorrow once the game tips and we kind of look around and we don't have that noise and maybe the environment isn't as great. I'm sure these guys will be excited to play another day, and that's what I'm excited about being able to be a part of.
Closing questions now for Coach and our 4 student athletes. We're going on the right side.
I have one for you're from the area. What impact does this have on you with the fans not being here? Because you would have had a large crowd.
It's a pretty big impact because, I'm pretty well known locally. So, a bunch of random fans, even if, they're fans of the other team, they know me and they might, cheer. So, I guess it has a pretty big effect, but it's the same for the other team. They're not going to have the same fan base, so I'm not sure.
Any other questions? Okay. Over here on the extreme left.
Coach, what is your message to fans that have, driven or flown here to Kansas City to watch you guys play that won't be able to come to the game tomorrow?
Obviously, we're following our leadership. We didn't make the decision, and we have fans come up too, and they won't be able to enjoy the experience either. It's unfortunate, but I think at the same time, there's so much unknown out there. All right, we want to take as much precaution as we possibly can to ensure the safety of the kids, right? And as adults, although it may not be fun, I'm sure it sucks for people who've maybe flown from far away and have hotel stays that maybe they can't get out of, or rental cars or whatever. I mean, it's just unfortunate. I don't really have a great answer for them either. I just hope that soon we all can figure out what it is and we can figure out a way to have a better situation moving forward.
All right, Coach, we'll let you and your student athletes get out of here and get ready for tomorrow's game. Thank you for coming, and congratulations. See you guys. Good to see you. Hey, guys. All right, we are ready to begin with the Cyclones of Iowa State. Coach Steve Prohm, and he has 4 student athletes with him tonight. Caleb Grill, Trey Jackson, Prentice Nixon, and Michael Jacobson. Coach, we'll call on you first for an opening statement.
First off, just congrats to Oklahoma State, for their win tonight and advancing in the tournament. Obviously, it's a special tournament, special place, special environment and venue, and it's great to be a part of it. I was proud of our guys. Thought we really competed, put ourselves in a position to win the game. They just made one more play at the end. We just didn't get back in transition. They were able to get to the basket, but proud of our guys, and hopefully tonight's another learning lesson for these young guys as we go forward.
Okay, thank you, Coach. Let's go to questions for any of the 4 guys, then we will bring Coach back into it in just a bit. First question comes on the left side, front row.
Prentice, with 6-7 minutes to go in the first half, what was going on there? I mean, with your head and whatever.
I split my head open. We went back to the locker room, got it fixed up, and that was really it. It was bleeding a little bit. Put a little Vaseline on to stop the bleeding, and Come back out there and play basketball.
Okay, you're on the left, extreme left.
Mike, what did you see from Prentice offensively? I mean, obviously he made a ton of shots for you guys.
Yeah, I just, he came out and battled, give him a ton of credit, obviously with what happened with his head. So, yeah, I think just biggest thing, making shots. He got to his spots on offense and, played with a ton of confidence and knocked him down. And it was great to see that for him.
Okay, we'll stay here on the left, up front.
Were you guys kind of following the situation today, just kind of wondering if fans were going to come? And then what are your thoughts about just playing, knowing that tomorrow they aren't going to allow fans in?
I just think you got to play basketball at the end of the day. You can't really worry about what's going on outside the game. You got to stay focused, stay honed in on your job, and get out there and do what you got to do, no matter if it's fans out there or not. We still got a job to do, and you got to get out there and do it no matter what.
Okay, you're on the left.
Mike, over here. The two guys sitting on your left, what can you say about the way they played this year and their next however many years, 3 years, whatever it'll be at Iowa State?
Yeah, I'm just proud of them for, I told them this after the game, just proud how they stepped up. Obviously we had two guys out, and just, the way they stepped up as young guys and, filled the big role, especially in an environment like this, like Coach Prohm said, March is here, and I thought they did a good job in their first game, and I think they'll have a ton of success going forward. They just got to build on it and keep working hard and, realize what this program deserves and what it's about. And, the year that they had this year is unacceptable, and just keep moving forward.
We will bring Coach back into the questions now, if you like, here on the extreme left.
Mike, you kind of touched on it there, calling the season unacceptable, but I guess I know it just ended, but how do you evaluate your guys' year as a team?
Yeah, I think just what I've talked about all season, just a ton of ups and downs. You got to find some consistency and, just make sure you're competing every day, competing in the games, just understanding, I guess, the biggest thing is what it takes to win at a high level. This year we didn't have a ton of guys that had that experience, so just realizing what that takes and everything that goes into it, and just taking nothing for granted, and like I said, just realizing, what Iowa State's about and the success they've had and how important it is to this fan base, and just going out there with that in mind every game and every day of practice and competing.
On the right.
Steve, how tough is Isaac likely for you guys to defend?
He was good tonight. The biggest thing with Likely is when he gets downhill, you want to put pressure on him just so he doesn't have a burst of speed. When you play off of him, he has a burst of speed. He's got good size, physicality, physical guard. There's not many guards that can go length of floor like he did at the end and finish, with his left hand. So credit to him. But he had a very good game, for them.
Caleb, what can a game like this do for you launching into next season? And then kind of what I'd ask those guys, you've got a lot of family in the area. How much were you kind of paying attention throughout the day? Just wondering if they'd even be able to come to the game.
The whole thing with the coronavirus thing, I haven't really been paying too much attention to it today, just trying to stay focused throughout the day about Oklahoma State and the game coming up. And, for the most part, they were saying immediate family and things like that could come, so nothing like that was really concerning me or anything like that. And then this game going into next year, just gives me confidence. Just going into next year, just going to come in every day with a different mindset and, just try to do what these two did. They came in and worked every day, so I'm just going to try to follow in their footsteps and do what they did.
Let's move to the left.
Steve, you mentioned a couple times this year that you'd sit down with Tyrese once the year ended. I guess, can you give us just what the timeline might be for that, to sit down and for him to make a decision on his pro future?
Yeah, he'll go home for spring break. I'll meet with him when he gets back, from the break. The guys are supposed to be back, after the break. And so I'll talk to him and his family this week, I'm sure. But, he'll be in Oshkosh this week for the break. And then I'll visit with him in person after that. And I don't think it'll be a long, drawn-out process, but whatever he decides. Yeah, there's a lot. I don't want to even talk about that right now because I know there's a lot of, there's a lot of unknowns. And so for right now, our guys are going home for spring break. And like I told them in the locker room, I'll meet with the administration this week while they're going on the break, and we'll put a plan together and go forward from that. But I can't really talk about that until I talk to my administration this week. So sorry about that.
Okay, we'll stay on the extreme left by the wall.
Coach, just your opinion. The NBA, they just canceled or suspended the rest of the regular season. Do you think the NCAA, just your opinion, do you think that they'll follow their lead and maybe cancel the tournament altogether?
I don't know. I heard about the NBA. I just heard it was suspended. I didn't know they canceled the season. So, yeah, suspended. For the rest of the season, but to comment on that, I'll just leave that up to Mr. Emmert and those administrators. Obviously, you pray for everybody affected, and you pray that we can find a cure, and everybody can get back to their simple lives. The most important thing is people's health. You can trade a lot of things, but you can't trade your health. And so whatever the best thing is to keep people healthy and safe, I'm in support of.
Okay, Coach, here on the left side up front.
Steve, what must happen during the off season for this season, for next season to improve, for things going forward to improve?
Well, I think we've got some good young guys in the program, guys returning. I think we got a good class coming in. Obviously, we got to address some needs in the spring recruiting. But like I told the guys in the locker room, I said, I've got to change in some ways. They've got to change. And it starts in the spring when we get back on campus and start our spring and summer workouts. Our mental and physical toughness has got to get better. And there's a lot of, little detail stuff we've got to clean up. So we can get back to the tournament and be back where we need to be. I'm not going to give you 25 different examples, but I think everyone in the locker room knows that's returning, and I know myself. I'm the leader, I'm the head coach. I judge myself the hardest to what the areas I need to change in. But 1 through 25, everybody needs to change, and in certain areas for us to get back where we need to be. You could see, a year ago today, we won this tournament. We were a top 20 basketball team and had a terrific team, and it can change in a year, it can flip in a year, and so I'm excited to lead this program and get us back to where we need to be.
How do you change? You talk about the players. How do you change?
I think I just got to change. I got to be probably a little bit more aggressive in a lot of different areas, and that can go in a lot of different areas. But I think I got to be aggressive, and I've got to. You continue to be myself, but but the areas that I need to improve in and get better in, and I've got to challenge myself to do that, and it'll happen, and we'll get back to where we need to be.
Trey,
Closing questions now for Coach here on the front.
Trey, how do you feel like the second half of your season went?
Of course, it didn't end like we wanted to or anything like that, but I feel like my shot was falling in the second half of the season. That's what really boosted my confidence. But just losing and stuff, that's not what we want to do. So I'm not really satisfied with anything. But like that I did this season, I'm satisfied with our effort and everything. But I'm just going to next year trying to improve.
Steve, what was kind of your comfortability level when it came to playing with fans tonight, knowing that tomorrow it's going to be shut down for fans?
What was my comfort level? I was to be honest, I just wanted these guys to get to the next day. That's all I really, family and close family I think could have been here. I think they're allowed to come maybe is what I had heard for tomorrow. I could be wrong on that, but I just wanted these guys to have an opportunity to play Kansas. Obviously, in a tournament format, you love playing Kansas. They wouldn't be a 50-50 split, obviously, because nobody would be there. But I wanted these guys to win a game like that because they've been through a lot. And I thought, we made the last play, but they made one more. And that's what, as a coach, that's what bothers you because you get opportunities. You know, you've been to the tournament, you've won championships, but not all these kids have shared in that. And so you want to have them have that moment. And this would have been a good way to kind of tough one out because Prentice got hurt. We had some adversity. Guys had to play. I think our two freshmen almost played 40 minutes tonight. I mean, Caleb was 3 for 5. He had 8 rebounds. And so we showed a little bit of grit. And so we got to build off that. But you know, you hate going home right away because this is the best time of year. This is what you work all your life for, to be in these moments. Then it's a special tournament.
Caleb and Trey.
This will be the final question. You're on the left.
For both of you guys, now that you've been through the grind of a college season, it's longer, it's more physical. What did you guys learn about yourselves during the last few months, and what can you take from that into the off season for your sophomore campaigns?
I've learned personally, like just the physical side of the game and this level. I just got to get better with the physicality and everything, and then just being a smarter player, mentally and physically. Just doing whatever I can to stay on the court. You know, all that foul and all that stuff. But I just got to be a better player.
I'd say for me, like, positioning is a huge thing because, you know, if you're in the wrong spot, it can go that quick and you can mess up a player or something like that. And, you know, you could have a defensive breakdown or something like that, like, pretty easy. And then offensively, you know, I've really never been a part of a coach who really likes spacing that much. So, like, that was kind of a struggle for me at first. A little bit, I thought, was spacing and, you know, offensively just having the floor space and just giving opportunities for everybody else to get open shots and opportunities to drive and things like that.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
What's your dad going to say?